your life could explode. You can choose radical success or radical failure, but one way or another, your life is a lit fuse. So what are you going to do? Compound interest is magical. Albert Einstein said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. And C.S. Lewis said good and evil increase at compound interest. That's why the little decisions we make every day are of infinite importance. All of our successes and all of our failures can be compounded. The impact of those successes and failures can be impacted by our decision making. Do we pivot from the failures and focus in on the successes, rolling them into larger successes and locking in that progress along the way? Or do we let them slide and let the failures stack up, continue along the same path until it destroys us? Patrick Bet-David, the creator of the Valuetainment brand on YouTube, says that everything to do with money is a doubles game. And what he means by that is that exponential growth is the most successful tool for increasing wealth. Stacking wins upon wins over and over consistently. He uses the example of $1,000. $1,000 doubled 10 times is $1 million. And $1 million doubled 10 times is $1 billion. So doubling once every year, you can go from insanely small amounts to insanely large amounts. And yeah, that takes creativity and innovation. And is it easy? No, it's not. But the concept of exponential growth is at the core of growth investing. The concept of compounding is extremely important for our success financially and just generally in life. Whether it's investing in real estate, or managing your finances, or relationships, or any number of things that we do in life, we can compound that value. And our goal should be to set ourselves targets of value creation that aren't too far out of reach, that are we can reach in a reasonable amount of time, and then pivot as we achieve each goal to find another in the same way. And whether or not the goal is doubling, the core concept is viable. We need a perspective shift after each hilltop. Every time we double, we need to figure out what the next double is going to be. And as we rise to those higher hilltops, locking in progress along the way, taking those checkpoints, we'll begin to achieve things we never thought possible. There's only one rule: don't lose. Warren Buffett said this of investing. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. And this has at its heart the biggest flaw of compounding. You can reach unreachable heights so long as you don't lose. Losing while compounding dramatically affects the trajectory of the growth, even if it's just 1 or 2 times. On average, you have to keep making wins. And our good defense becomes the best offense, essentially, granting us consistency of growth. So we have to structure our lives to keep winning if we want to reach those crazy goals, even if the wins are smaller than expected. Low-risk compounding is magic, and high-risk compounding is walking a tightrope. So how can we structure our life for maximum compounding? How can we prevent ourselves from taking losses? The answers to those two questions are the path to the future we never dreamed of, that we never thought possible. We need to guard ourselves to ensure that our mind and emotions can guide us to that destination. Compound interest is effective. It's effective because it utilizes an effective human nature. We like to create. Over time, the vehicles we use to create wealth will grow. If you invest in them before they grow and stay in them as they grow, you won't just retain that wealth, you'll increase it. And that growth is very often exponential. There's a quote often attributed to Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, which he borrowed from novelist Milan Kundera. And it says, "Business has only two functions, marketing and innovation. Those two elements are the only profitable mechanisms of a business. Everything else is a cost." Marketing increases the repute of a brand or product in a customer's mind, leading to more sales, and innovation. Innovation creates that value by definition. It solves a problem, thereby creating value. So those two ways are the only profitable mechanisms. Those two venues are the only profitable mechanisms for a business. But compound interest benefits from that concept over time, that brands tend to increase their space in the consumer's mind. Marketing over time, if you will. It's highly likely to occur with any brand that truly creates value. Where it gets interesting is when you mix that effect with brands who are innovating, solving current problems in effective ways. Those opportunities tend to be much more valuable. They're also much harder to spot, and it takes human creativity to understand why something new will replace something old. But there are so many things we don't dream of pursuing because our perspective tells us we don't have access to that. We can't reach that. And compounding our successes allows us to do that. We can roll our successes, stack the blocks, and make a tower. And there's no end to what we can achieve if we compound our successes. There's no end to the depth we can fall to if we compound our failures as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Alright, so in a few weeks here, I'm going to be creating some content on digital security. I believe it's vital to surviving in our modern world. So be sure to protect yourselves. There are a lot of people losing so much right now. Be sure to prepare so you aren't caught without what you need. And while you're at it, maybe take a look at some of the shinier members of the periodic table. Conductive elements deserve some love too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you enjoyed the video and drop a like or comment below. I really appreciate you guys. Have a great one.